In this video, we're going to show you how to display a list of up to 2,000 companies at a time on a map using a free service called Google My Maps. Now, the premium version of IndustrySelect has integration with Google My Maps. So once you've built a list of companies like I have here, you can click the gear icon for advanced export options that'll export a file that is formatted specifically for Google My Maps. However, if you have the standard version of IndustrySelect, you can still use Google My Maps. You just have to do a couple extra formatting steps before you can bring the file over. So that's what we're going to show you in the example here today. So for this example, I've built a list of manufacturing companies located in the Bolingbrook, Illinois area. From the My List page, we're going to click the usual export icon in the upper right corner to export this file. So we're going to keep it as a CSV file. We're going to choose one record per executive, and now we're going to choose one executive. And from here we can select which executive we want to be displayed with the company on the map. So for our example, I'll choose engineering. But if that particular executive is not available at a company, then we'll provide the highest ranking executive instead. And for our example, we'll go ahead and choose to include SIC and NAICS descriptions, and now we're going to click Export List. So from here, let's right-click on this file and save it to our desktop. And now, before we can import this file into Google My Maps, we need to do a few edits to it. Unfortunately, with Google My Maps, there is a limit on the number of fields that can be imported with a file. That limit is somewhere around 20. So we need to delete out of here enough columns to make this file small enough that it can be imported into Google My Maps. So the first column is company ID, company name. Let's go ahead and expand this so you can see. Physical address, physical city, state, and zip we'll need to put the company on the map. We don't need their county. We don't need their mailing address. So let's go ahead and delete those out. We'll keep their primary phone number, but let's delete these alternate phone fields. We're not going to want those. We'll keep the company email, number of employees. Let's drop some of these extra fields for total employees. Let's drop that. And again, you can choose whichever fields you want here. The goal is just to delete enough fields that we get this down to around 20 columns within the spreadsheet. We can leave the business description. That's fine. Let's go ahead and we'll leave the primary SIC and SIC description, but let's delete the extra SIC codes and the NAICS codes. And we'll delete the executive contact ID and salutation. And we're going to be left with the executive's first, middle, and last name, their suffix, their title. And we can drop their abbreviated title. And let's drop this executive phone column. So you can see we're up to column U. So we've got around 20 columns. So we should be good to go. So let's go ahead and save this file and then close it out. Now let's go back over to our browser and open a new tab. And we're going to go to google.com/mymaps. Again, google.com/mymaps. Now this is a free service that Google offers that allows you to build your own maps. So once we're in the service here, we're going to go ahead and click on the red button that says Create a New Map. And now we're going to select, by clicking Import, we're going to select that file that we just exported out of IndustrySelect and we made the edits 2 moments ago. So let's go ahead and drag that in. Now on the first screen that comes up, we need to tell Google My Maps how to position the place marks on the map. So we need to select the address field. So address, city, state, and zip. So make sure you get all 4 of those. You do not need the county. We deleted that out of the file. But you're going to want to get address, city, state, and zip and hit continue. How to title our markers, we're going to use company. That's the company name for that. And we're going to click Finish. And now what we're going to see here is that list of manufacturing companies in Bolingbrook, Illinois being displayed on the map. And from here, it's just like using Google Maps. We have a lot of different options. We can zoom, we can change the layers so if we want to see a satellite. And of course, if you click on the marker, you're going to see all those columns within Excel, those fields that we imported from IndustrySelect. So we've got the company ID, their address, their phone, website, their email address, number of employees, annual sales, business description. There's their brand names, primary SIC, and then the executive that we imported and their email address as well. So again, you can choose whichever fields you want to import here to be displayed that you want. You just want to get that number down to around 20 or so. Anything higher than that and Google My Maps will not allow you to import that file. But you can choose whichever of those 20 fields that you want on here is completely at your discretion. So again, from here we can use basic Google mapping function. We can zoom in or out if we want to take a closer look. We can also toggle over to a satellite view instead of looking at this graphical view, and really just allows you to zero in and visualize where these companies are located on the map. You also have options up here for driving directions. And once you've built the map to your liking, you've got additional options here. You can change the name of this map because you can save it, so you can change the name to anything that you want. You can share it with others. You can send it to your mobile phone, so you can do the driving directions on your phone. You can add in layers, so you can add in another list of companies if you want to bring those in and visually display a separate list alongside this list of companies. So you've got a lot of options once you're here within the system. It's a really nice platform, and again, completely free to use, no charges from Google to use this service. So that's it. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out. We'd be happy to help.